What is up, guys? Here with the 28th shelf of my action movie collection. Starting off with Zodiac. Great cast in this movie. This was the first movie of Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback from his drug problem. Pretty solid movie for a David Fincher movie, that's for sure. But I mean, it's different, but very good. So worth checking out if you haven't seen it before. Then we have a classic, Fatal Attraction, with Michael Douglas and Glenn Close. Bought this back when I first started getting into Michael Douglas movies, and it's a very solid movie. He's done a lot of great movies, so I wouldn't say this is his best movie, but it's definitely up there. Then we have Internal Affairs with Richard Gere and Andy Garcia. Very solid, dirty cop, skewed character movie. You know, especially for the early 90s when this wasn't really a big genre. You know, if this had come out probably in, late 90s, 99, 2000, this probably would have been an even bigger hit than it was in the early 90s. But still a very solid watch. Then we have another classic, Roadhouse, with Patrick Swayze. One of Patrick Swayze's better movies, in my opinion. You know, old school at its best. You know, not a complicated story. One guy beats up a bunch of guys. So, I mean, if you like that type of movie, you'll love this one. Have not seen the sequel, not going to see the sequel, I don't think. Then we have Top Gun with Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis. You want to talk a classic, this is definitely it right here. One of the best Tom Cruise movies ever made. Then we have Notorious, the movie about Biggie. Very solid movie, very well done. Worth checking out, even if you're not a big rap fan. Just the story in general will be enough to grasp your attention. Haven't seen All Eyes on Me yet, so hopefully that's as good as this one. All Eyes on Me is the story about Tupac, so. Then we have Killshot with Diane Lane and Mickey Rourke. For a straight-to-DVD release, this was a pretty good movie. Great cast. I mean, it's a solid watch, and it's a messed up movie for sure. Then we have Glen Ross. You know, you want to talk about an amazing cast. This has got every great dramatic actor in it, pretty much. Pretty boring movie, but still I can understand why it would be a classic, considering how great character acting movie in a way. So worth checking out. Then we have Bobby Z with Paul Walker and Lawrence Fishburne. Paul Walker was great at making these straight-to-DVD action movies. Taken from us way too soon. Very, very solid watch. I'm wondering if this was before or after. It was after. I was say it was like Joaquin Del Almeida maybe got Fast Five from this movie, but it looks like this was made after that. But solid watch for sure. Then we have The Man in the Iron Mask, which is basically the Three Musketeers and the King. A different take on it, you know, a more adult version. Solid watch. I still prefer the Three Musketeers Disney version over this one. But still a solid watch if you wanted a serious take on it. Then we have Lucky Number 11. This was the beginning of the descent of Bruce Willis into B-movie. This was a theater release, but I mean, it wasn't a huge hit at the box office. You know, also the descent of Josh Hartnett as well. But it's a solid watch. You know, you'll enjoy it. Then we have Michael Clayton with George Clooney, Tom Wilkinson. This is Sidney Pollack directed this movie. I mean, it's okay. It's definitely not an adrenaline pumping movie. Oh, maybe Sidney Pollack didn't direct this one. Tony Gilroy did. Sidney Pollack was just in this movie. But yeah, it was pretty slow. I mean, it's worth a watch if you haven't seen it before, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. Then we have Superman Returns, the Brandon Routh version. Yeah, this one's not good. Kevin Spacey's the best part of this movie. That's all I got to say about that. Then we have Blue Crush. This movie was really, really good. Really great motivational surfing friend life movie. Michelle Rodriguez does great, so does Kate Bosworth. 100% worth checking out if you haven't seen it before. Have not seen Blue Crush 2. Don't even know if it's worthwhile. Comment down below if you've seen Blue Crush 2. Then we have The Peacemaker with George Clooney and Nicole Kidman. Pretty solid action thriller movie. George Clooney does great. Not a huge Nicole Kidman fan, but this movie was okay. Not the greatest, but okay. Then we have a classic, Casino. I'm going to have to get an upgrade for this one too, for 4K for sure. But yeah, this is definitely one of my more favorite Martin Scorsese movies right here. Can't go wrong with some Casino. The backdrop of Vegas and then the mob. Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. Absolutely nothing wrong with this movie right here. Then we have Carlito's Way. You know, I loved Scarface, so I bought this movie thinking it would be just as good, and it wasn't. This movie was boring. Did not enjoy it at all. Shame. Comment down below on what you thought of Carlito's Way. I was more of a fan of the sequel of Carlito's Way, which, here's the sequel. Carlito's Way Rise to Power. I thought this was better than the original. More action, better story. Just kept my attention more. Jay Hernandez did great. Yeah, I'm sure I'm probably in the minority with this, but I do think it's better than the original. Then we have Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is an okay movie. John McTiernan and Arnold did not get along well, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. I mean, this is not my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I get, when I was a kid, I kind of liked it, but I prefer Terminator. I prefer Kindergarten Cop. He's done better movies than this, Predator. So it's not the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie I would go to, but still a solid watch. Then we have Red Heat with Arnold Schwarzenegger and John Belushi. Or Jim Belushi, I'm sorry. But great movie, great concept. These two bounced and worked really well off each other. I'm surprised they never worked with each other more often. But yeah, 100% worth checking out right here. Old school action at its best. Then we have Striking Distance with Bruce Willis and Sarah Jessica Parker. Great thriller, murder mystery, action movie. Bruce Willis at his best here. Sarah Jessica Parker, great cast. 100% worth checking out. Then we have Desperate Measures with Michael Keaton and Andy Garcia. I saw this back when I was a kid on TNT and really enjoyed it. So when I found it on DVD, I had to snatch it up. And it's still great. Great concept, great different type of movie. I believe it was in the theaters. I don't know how well it did, but still a solid watch if you haven't seen it before. And then finally we have The Mask of Zorro. This is a fantastic movie. Martin Campbell is a great director. Couldn't get a better cast than this. Sequel was pretty good too, but not as good as this one. I mean, the chemistry between everyone on screen in this movie was absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, I love Martin Campbell as the director, so 100% worth checking out. I'd recommend this to anybody. But that does it for this shelf. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. I'm also over on Letterboxd. The link to that is over in the profile description of this channel. Otherwise, until next time, have a good one, guys.